Hello everyone, Krydax here, and welcome back to pYanodon's Season 3. I'm here to kick butt, chew bubblegum, and drink coffee, and I'm all out of bubblegum. So our power was struggling, and we had to turn on the emergency switch, which I'm going to turn off right now. It seems like we've recovered a little bit. We used about a third of our emergency steam here. I forget how many, did that have like a gigajoule in it, or like hundreds of gigajoules? I forget how much power it had in it. It was a lot. No, it's like maybe even a terajoule or something ridiculous. And then I think, despite what I'm feeling might be smart, I'm gonna build more of our little friends here. Say hello to my little friend. All right. Seems good. These are just perfectly diagonal spots to try to build on. So I'll focus on needing more landfill than water fill. Okay. Do that, and then we need one more because I like to build them in chunks of 10. So I'll do that. Okay, and then we need to extend construction zones like that. And then one more down here. Alright, and then copper seems to be working swimmingly, by the way. No problems here. I could, you know, now that I think about it, that is free ash. We're already getting ash here. Why don't we just do this? Why don't we do that? And then we can just unfilter these and delete that whole burner situation. We do still need these though. Okay. So that's a little better. Now we're getting ash from the burning or melting, smelting copper. Cool. What's next? Oh yeah, molybdenum. That's what we were talking about doing. And then our 60 gigawatts will get here eventually. 60 gigawatts. Ha! 60 megawatts, I mean. 60 gigawatts would be great. That would be busted. Maybe someday we'll work on a big power build that isn't just slow and steady wins the race. But we are definitely slow and steadying for now. Molybdenum mines, let's get those installed just to kind of get that started. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then... So these do need drill heads. Just a reminder to myself. So what I might do is shift them over, and then I can do something like this. So there's molybdenum on one side. The problem with that, because this way we can have the drill heads come up the middle and serve both sides. The other way would be have the drill heads come behind them, and then we don't need to worry about power, because these don't even use power. But then this way I can have lamps too, so that's kind of nice. So yeah, why don't we just do it this way? And we can just have power pole here. And then we can have a, might as well use a mechanical there and a regular there. And that'll feed drill heads to the whole shebang. Like this. We really need night vision goggles for remote view. So how many is this? That is 10. Okay. So we're gonna need... See, and now we don't even need to have space behind them, which is kind of cool. Okay, so there's my 18. So we'll go for like 22. I'll just finish this out. It'll last us longer this way. Take a picture, it'll last longer. Alright, remove the inserters we don't need. And then wherever drill heads come from, we'll have those come up and split like here. And then we've got molybdenum. Right there. Okay, so that's molybdenum. We are gonna need our stations here. So let's start with a requester. It'll need to be a multi-requester for filtration media and drill heads. Weird, I only need, I even get some free sulfur. I need oxygen, hydrogen, and nitrogen. All the basic gases. And I will take the muddy sludge, since we've learned that like we actually are using a decent amount of muddy sludge. Like 200 muddy sludge a second is not easy to produce. Like if I wanted muddy sludge, like let's say I wanted 400 a second. Where did that go? Here. Or 200 a second. If I wanted 200 a second, I would need 10 soil extractors and 8 washers. So that's kind of what we're saving by holding on to this. I think that's worth it. I think that's worth it, right? I don't know, maybe not, but we'll go ahead and do it. Did I add molybdenum mines into the mix? I don't think I did. No. Molybdenum mine. I'll just do 2. They'll get crafted eventually. And then, so what do we need? We need a multi-requester, weak side multi-requester. Oh, all requesters are multi-requesters. Okay, so weak side request. Then we need strong side multi-provide, because we're providing sulfur and no, we're trashing sulfur. So we need a super trasher and then a single provider. So strong side provider, wait, oh, it's in the wrong space. That goes there. And then we need super trasher. I really want to look into, I keep meaning to do it. I want to look into the fork that I have of CyberSyn, because it allows for the separate inventory controls, which I really need to investigate. Super trasher, then I'm gonna need fluid requester. We'll start with nitrogen. And then finally, F-Trasher extension. Though I don't really think Muddy Sludge is ever gonna have a byproduct usage. You never know, though. Okay, so yeah, what I want to figure out is how does the cybernetic combinator, the one that, so I have the Dan Bopes fork, and it adds this ability to do secondary inventory. But what do you actually do with that? I know he wrote up something on my Discord. Let's see if I can find it. It's in streamer mode. 1 second. Let's see, Factorio from... Why is the Discord from thing not working? Wait, search option doesn't have from anymore? Are you kidding? Wait, why is from not showing up in my search window in Discord? Like, I'm typing from and then a colon, which is supposed to look for messages from that user. But it's like literally not showing up as a search option. What? What is going on? That doesn't make any sense. So what do I even search for? I'll just look for, okay, he said, here we go. So to summarize the differences in his branch versus the original, adds a secondary inventory mode for the CyberSyn combinator. Here, let me do this. I'm gonna copy his message into, so you guys can see it, into this description. All right. So adds a secondary inventory mode for the CyberSyn combinator. When placed near a station's combinator, it will allow you to send different signals to a different network. So we could be on channel 1 and 2 at the same time. So when the planning algorithms, blah, 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 looking to see if it can pick up goods, it will iterate through all the inventories and attempt to make a match, blah, blah, blah. When a delivery is coming to a station, or coming to pick up from a station, the inventory is subtracted from all inventories. So we can have stone minus 2k on network 2. And then you have 2.5k total station inventory. Priority and thresholds are inherited from the normal station, but can be overridden by passing a signal to the respective secondary inventory combinator. Locked slots are also now multiplied by the number of unique items requested, which means we can just have one locked slot per provider no matter what. So super handy. And he's working on a train upgrader. By the time Krydak starts working on his next round of trains. That is going to be a long time. So anyway, I feel like I kind of want to redesign my Super Trasher now. And I realize it's a little unfortunate because it won't be able to work for everybody, but Dan Bopes' fork is publicly available on GitHub, so you can download it yourself as well if you're interested. And honestly, it's just, it feels like how CyberSyn should work, because now I'll be able to do something like this with just one station. So what I need to do how do I do it though? Design time. Oh god. Someday we have to revisit Rails. Anyway, let's find our Super Trasher. Okay. So now we're going to design a new version that only has the one station. And I might even just preemptively hook it up like this. We also need power for all of them preemptively. Okay, so what exactly is going on here? So what we've got, I'm gonna move that menu down to the bottom so it's out of the way. So what we're doing is we're taking the red, the green just is what's in the chests. So that's being fed to the actual station. Then we're gonna have a second, station control, which I will put in the front for separation purposes. So that'll be secondary inventory. So that is now doing the work of this one. So theoretically, we're gonna hook up the red wire. And the red wire is adding... Wait, what is it doing? The red wire is adding the inventory that's in here. Minus 30 stacks. So this is doing... What's the input to this? Oh, and then we had to do manual inventory control, which I don't have to worry about here. But yeah, the green wire here is attached. Weirdly, it's going like to the front of that and then to the back of this, but that's attached to the back of this. So this is just reading the stack size of all the things that are on the green signal. Then it's multiplying them by -30, and then that's combining with what's in the chest. So it's subtracting 30 stacks worth from everything in here, and then that's getting passed. Those are getting combined together to become the inventory for this station. So alls we got to do, and we no longer need the station control. So the manual inventory control was making sure that we sent, you know, since we were sharing one inventory between two trains, so we no longer need station control at all. So I can remove that, and then I can remove this one, which means the wire should stay connected there. So that's that. Then that was a requester chest for filtering stuff, so we don't need that because this one already has it. At least I assume. Wait, I assume that that's true. Yeah, that's a yeah. That's based on the train signal, not the cybernetic combinator. Oh, wait, no, or is it? We're gonna have to test this. If it comes to request on network, yeah, I don't actually know how this is gonna work. Okay. So we only need one locked slot. That's channel 1. This is gonna be, let me just copy the settings to start with. This is gonna be channel 2. So this is the trasher one. Oh, and this is nice because now we can change the priority between regular, provide, and trash. So we could provide on the main channel at high, but then we could provide byproduct channel on really low priority if we want. Interesting. That's super handy too. Okay, the only question is which one is going to get the negative signal. So here we're going to have to measure. We're going to have to test this. So which one is going to get the negative signal when we do that stuff? So accumulator and substation. Okay, so we got that. And now we just need to hook these up. And then I need another... For now, I'm just going to do a simple red wire to there. So that reads... Oh, and then... No, we're on channel 2 already. We should be able to reset all those so it's only outputting a 2 in the first place. Okay, and now we need a station, and we need a train, and we need a CyberSyn combinator. I hope you guys enjoy the train figuring out stuff. I know some people are less into it, but some people are really into it, so I feel like it's a little bit of both. So, for those of you that are enjoying this, I'm glad you're enjoying it. For those of you that are bored, you have the ability to skip forward, so that is nice. Alright, not station control, depot. And then we just want rocket fuel. I can't shift click that into the fuel slot? Oh. We can't. Put rocket fuel into trains. Okay. Well, that's why that wouldn't shift click in. Figured it out. Alright. Fuel fiber. What's this station called? Supple Zombie Kitten. Wow, there's... God, I feel like I'm streaming on Twitch right now. Supple Zombie Kitten. What a name. Alright, so that's on automatic. So now we're gonna need a request station, unfortunately. Make this work. I really wish there was a way to, like, encourage the train to take right angle turns. But there isn't. So it always does these, like, annoying... It does get a path there, but now that there's all these new train directions, I actually think we need another button for when we're planning the rail planner. Because it just does all these crazy angles to, like, take the most efficient route, but that might not be what you want. I feel like we really need a, like a control, like an alt, hold alt while you're doing this or something, and then it'll do right angles. Because it makes the planner kind of useless unless you're truly like, God, I just need to get through this spaghetti. Please give me a path through the spaghetti. Or if you're going for like the full, you know, organic idea, which is, you know, doable, but... Alright. So these are just gonna load into infinity chests. Which I have somewhere. There we go. CyberSyn combinator. You are a station. Request only. There's your inventory. And we need a combinator to say you're requesting something. You are requesting inserters. Negative 20, negative 30 stacks. Oh, and it needs to be on stack threshold. Request threshold is 20 stacks. Okay. So that'll request, let's just do 10 stacks. That'll be a little simpler. That'll request that. Now this gets merged. And we need some infinity chests with inserters. Okay. So there's that. Oops. We're supposed to have filters on them too. Okay, and then that needs to be enabled if inserter is less than, we'll say, 1200 for now. Okay, so shouldn't this be running now? What did I screw up? Because now we've got 1300 inserters being provided on channel 1. And this is requesting... Oh, it's not on a channel. It's not on a channel. A channel 1. That should do it. Maybe. Maybe not. Seems like it's a not. Why not? request station, allow list. There's no train limit even set, so it should just allow how many trains at once. What have I done wrong? It's on channel 1. The inventory of this is being passed to that. It's on channel 1. That should be working, actually. Uh-oh. I feel like something's gone wrong here. Is it a signals issue? We seem to be having a problem with basic network not working. It's on automatic. Okay. What is the problem? Surface, test surface. Inserter provided. Oh. Wait. No, that request should be showing up somewhere. The request isn't showing up. Why not? Well, now I'm confused. I thought I had forgotten to hook up the wire, but I didn't. Why is that request not showing up? The request threshold's 10 stacks. 10 stacks is 500. It needs 550. It doesn't have 550. What is going on here? That's a weird one. This station doesn't even exist? Testing 1, 2, 3. We're gonna name it so we can find it. What is going on here? We have power down here. I am ultimately confused. Testing 1, 2, 3 is not even showing up on here. Oh no, what have I forgotten? You guys are probably screaming at your screen, but like... Quest only should be fine. Do I need a train limit for it to work? Surely not. No, it's just not showing up. Why is it not showing up as a valid station? That's what I'm confused about. I am totally lost, actually. What is going on here? Why does this station not exist on the rail network? I'm so sorry, guys. I'm gonna pause the recording for a second until I figure this out. Okay, this is literally 5 seconds later. I did nothing and now it's working. I'm so confused. I didn't change anything. I literally, I paused the recording, I looked at the screen, I said, and then all of a sudden it turned on. So if anybody has any idea what was going on there, let me know, because that was really confusing. Okay, so that was really weird. Okay, so let's remove unfiltered items real quick. Yeah, now it's working. That's so weird. Okay, so that one has the negative, and this one does not. So now what we need to test is if we request on channel 2, what happens? Is it this one that gets the negative when the train arrives to say what the train is picking up? And the answer is wait, why is that 298? Oh, we're still subtracting 30 stacks. That's funny. Wait. Oh, subtracting 30 stacks. Yeah. Here, for a quick moment, we'll disconnect that one. Okay. So then it should show up. Okay. Good news number 1. And then the signal goes to still the original station. Okay, that's what I was wondering. So that's so the filtering won't need to change. Okay. Dan Bopes, if you do get around to watching this, I would recommend adding that to like your little tips and tricks for what you've changed, because it could be a question that a user has of like which combinator is going to have the signal that represents what the train has come to pick up, if that makes sense. So then all we need to do, so we don't need this one anymore. We do need these two still. So then these two will, and I can delete these. So these two represent stack sizing on what we have in there times 30, and I can change that 30, you know, to something else if we want to buffer more in a certain spot. But we can change that, but at least for now that's fine. And then that's what we pass to the secondary inventory, which I will pass through there. And that's saying what we have on channel 2. And it will inherit the priority unless we set a different priority. I'll just set it to 10 and 1 locked slot just so that we kind of know. So then that's what channel 2 has. And now we want to arrange this so we can get as many loaders in here as possible and belts and stuff. And that's pointless. Okay, so like in terms of, you know, other train stops, we could have one as close as there. So we ideally then are fitting all of the combinators out of the way, which kind of makes me want to fit these that one's the one that outputs what the train is picking up either way. Okay. So that's what sets the filter on the loaders either way. That is correct. Okay, so why don't I do the subtracting here, and then that can sit there and this one can sit there. We do need to add the original signal though into that. Could we just do green for that? No, because then green will add that signal. So we need to add... Wait, what am I doing? Why is green attached on that one? That needs to be unattached. So then a separate red signal needs to come directly from the chest to there. Okay, it's a little bit messy circuit wire wise, but I believe that this is exactly what we want for a super trasher. I mean, it even shows it, -298 right there. And so if I change these to, let's say, 2000, which would be 40 stacks, then we should see this one get up to 500. Oh, this is beautiful. Dan Bopes, you're a genius. Boop. Look at that. Okay, so now we have a super trasher with only one station. That is glorious. Wait. Uh-oh. Oh, 500 is 10 stacks. Okay, I was like, wait a second, that's wrong for our stack threshold. But we're okay. We're okay. All right. Well, I'm pretty happy with that. So this is now our new super trasher. Oh, yes. Oh my gosh. It's so nice. Look at it. It's tiny. Okay. Alright, let's get the rails connected properly. And then signals we should already have. Yeah, there and there. Okay, that's where they're supposed to be. Yeah, I mean, that's basically it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna retire the old super trasher into... I'm gonna make a new book for retired stuff. And we're gonna put the old super trasher in there, and we're gonna call it super trasher non-Dan Bopes version. So this way, whenever you guys ask me for the blueprints, that one will still be in there. But now we need a new one, so I'm gonna make a copy of this, put it in here. It is just called Super Trasher. And then we need to select new contents. Zoop. Oh, but we need a, hold on, there's a few mistakes here. Remove those. And then we need to remove all this. If you go into map view and deconstruct it, it doesn't put, oh, it does? Wait, really? I thought going into map view would keep the stuff from going into your inventory. Oh, it's that keeps it from going into your inventory. Yeah, you deconstruction plane, right? There we go. Okay. And then we need to unmerge. There we go. Okay, and then I'll even put, because I want to see if a normal station, because we've had some problems with connectivity. So if we just do like weak side provider and we were to put it up here, would it connect? It would. Okay, so I'm fine then on that front. Okay. And in terms of how long we generally want the extenders to be, we need them to be a little bit longer here. Two more there. Is that right? One more. Okay. So now Super Trasher, new contents, zoop, and save. Oh, train stop name, trash provider 1. That should be fine. Yeah, okay. Sweet. Now, the fluid super trasher should work the same way. The problem with the fluid super trasher is we need so much space for tanks that I don't save quite as much on only having the one station. Because we need a lot of space for this one anyway. No, I mean, it still helps. It still helps. So should I work on fixing this one too? Potentially? Wait, I can just not select the parameter and that leaves it as a parameter, right? Yeah. So can we easily do the same thing for this? Is there anything preventing me from doing the same thing for this? I don't think so. So this one is secondary inventory. We don't need the station control anymore. Take off station control, take off station control. That's so nice. And then we need the minus 45K. Yeah, I mean, this is chill AF. We just have another one of these. That goes there. And we delete all this crap. I mean, that's literally it. So that's the secondary inventory for channel 2. Locked slots don't really matter because this is providing fluids. We're subtracting 45K, which is fine. That gives us 30K to the trash network once it's full. And that's what gets passed to the secondary inventory. And we don't have to like combine that with anything because we're not doing weird stack size math or anything. So then that now means that all of this can go away. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. This is so nice. I generally don't like to diverge into like weird forks of mods, but this is just so much more like what I want to be capable of doing in the game in the first place. So I'm really, at the end of the day, I'm really happy with this. Also, why am I doing it that way instead of this way? Oh, is that why? No, I mean, but I can just do that. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6. And they go in order, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And then the power pole, I do know we forgot that one. I'll put that there. And then I'll put one here. And that hits all the combinators. And then that one might need to be there for connection purposes. Do I need to test this though? Like, there's a part of me that's wondering, like, is this gonna work properly? But it should. Just let me look a little bit closer at the wiring here. So the wire is being passed. The green wire is not corrupted with multiple constant combinators, so we don't need to worry about that. That's being passed with a red signal. This one's being passed with a green signal, but that's not reaching backwards into any of the other green signals, so that's fine. It's on secondary inventory mode. We've got channel 2 is really the only thing that even matters here, and the priority. Again, which we can set separately. I guess the one thing I really want is to be able to set priorities differently per item. That would be the final straw of like what I wish I could do, is have a priority, a cybernetic priority, you know, because you can do station control, but when you pass a signal of an item to that, what it does is it changes that signal's what's the word? It changes that signal's request threshold. What I want is to be able to change that signal's priority somehow. That would be cool. I don't think it's possible, probably inside the code of CyberSend. But that would be neat. Okay, I'm pretty happy with all this. This is now my fluid super trasher. Is it possible to have two any lower? Now that, because that's taking up an extra tile up at the top that we maybe don't need to. Yeah, I could actually have two down here. And I shall. So that saves us one tile on the top. Okay. All right, sweet. Well, that is now the old one, retired. Super Trasher extension, non-Dan Bopes edition. Create copy. One of the reasons I'm creating the copy is just so I don't have to redo the icons. Select new contents. Oh, and we need to make this part longer. I feel like these have maybe been too long. So I feel like that's a tile shorter than this one, but I'm okay with that. Nope, it's actually the same amount of tiles. Fine then. Fine. Select new contents. Wait, which one? Hold on. Yeah, F Super Trasher. Select new contents. And it is the Dan Bopes edition. Boop. Save. And now we've got a one-station Super Trasher. That is dope. Okay. So back to our base. We now... Uh-oh. Oh, shoot. What did I screw up over here? Ah, see? In this case, it wasn't long enough. You know what? I'm just gonna restart. Nothing had arrived there yet, so I'm just... Oh god. Sorry, bots. Oh no. Did that means it changes to manual? Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll get that fixed here in a moment. Don't you worry, Mr. Train. Don't you worry. Okay. So now what we need is a Super Trasher. God, look at how small it is. It's amazing. So there's our Super Trasher. I guess I didn't... I mean... In most cases, we're going to be on the strong side, so I need to add back in the... Sorry, there is one more thing we need to do, which is the strong side belt. Which... If I were to copy just the belt part, looks like this. Wait, but it's on the tile directly caddy corner. It's on that tile. Okay. And then that filter just loads in with no qualms. Okay, so there's my basic Super Trasher. Save. Yeah. Okay. So now head back up to here. Basic super trasher. Okay, so now that's in there. And now we want just a normal fluid provider. Oh, but that's gonna have to go one tile up. Okay, hold on. So, nitrogen, get that thrown in here. Which is actually in petroleum handling? No, raw ores. Okay. So we actually then have a different one. Because we have more space because of the extra thingies. So what we actually need to do is not this, but that. Might as well make it longer, save on some belts. Although, I don't know, does it look better when you go max distance, or does it look better when you just barely avoid the rails? You know what I mean? Like, because we can still get, I think, 2 more tiles out of that, is that right? Yeah. So does that look better? Or does it look better the other way? I don't know. I feel like it looks better when you just barely avoid the rails, actually. So what's the cost of 2 belts? In the grand scheme of our pyanodon's run, what is the cost of 2 belts? Basically nothing. Okay. Alright, so that's that. Goodness. Okay, and then we'll manually assign the nitrogen. Except that I did the wrong thing. I didn't do F requester, I did F provider. And I'm gonna delete the nitrogen request because I'll manually send it there. And then we have our muddy sludge, which we are going to throw in our F trasher. But what I could do, because this is a fresh block, I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna throw in an F super trasher. Just preemptively. And the reasoning is, surely there will be some fluids we need to super trash with whatever else we do in this block. Right? Right. Muddy sludge is just one of them. So we'll get that thrown in. Okay, we're gonna have to call it an episode here. But as always, thank you guys for watching. Let me get this pasted in here before I forget. I guess we don't need the power. Actions. Perfect. All right, well, there we go. Molybdenum has begun. New 1-station super trasher is solved only because of Dan Bopes. Thank you, Dan Bopes, for your fork of Cybersyn. I'll try to put the link to his GitHub in the description of this video. If I forgot, leave a comment telling me I forgot, and I'll add it back in, or I'll add it in. So, as always, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next one.